first, thanks for coming. Welcome to the Denim Deal live session. Objective of this panel is to talk about post-consumer recycled cotton in the denim industry, how the denim industry is striving to integrate this fiber in to make new fabrics and to make new product, new yarns. I'm Nicolas Propphte. I'm the head of the foundation Denim Deal, and I'm going to introduce my speakers here with me, my partners. So first I will start with ladies, if you don't mind. So thanks DILEK to come here in our panel. You're the head of marketing for SHARABATI. We know each other for many years now.
Yeah, many years, yeah.
We don't have to say how many, it's not important. Exactly. I don't have to say SHARABATI very important in Egypt. You are present here established for a few decades now.
It's a long time that we are in Egypt. Yeah, one of the first, I think, denim producer in Egypt. We also have factory in Turkey, but we are operating in both countries.
And you are a member of the Denim Deal since the beginning?
Yes, we are a member of Denim Deal from the beginning, thanks to you, actually. You were the one who asked us to join the Denim Deal, and now it's maybe 4 years.
Yep, 4 years, yeah.
Almost from the starting, yeah.
Yeah. So that's from the SHARABATI side. I'm going to look at my left. GOKHAN ÚNSAL, General Manager, Denim. Congratulations. You deserve it. Also, very good friend. We work together more or less since the factory started here.
You were the first biggest customer.
Yes. And also DNM is also part of the Denim Deal since the beginning. Objective, I will start with DILEK, if you don't mind, for the first questions. DILEK, if you a little bit look back at the market, so when really the brands starting to ask or request such a fiber in the market, do you remind or do you remember?
Yeah, actually, I mean, first we started with you. You were the first, when you were working in PVH, you were the first customer that asked us post-consumer recycled cotton. For the people who doesn't know, in Egypt we have a recycle factory, and for over 20 years, 23 years, we have our own recycle factory, but we usually produce pre-consumer recycle. Because the idea is to collect all the waste that we are having during the production of our denim production, and we are recycling it and we are reusing it as a yarn. But we were not using post-consumer because, I mean, it's not easy for us to collect the second-hand garments. We don't have any setup for this. But when you asked us to start with the post-consumer, then we started to make the research and how we can make it. Then around 8 years ago, I think we started to work with the post-consumer recycled cotton.
But did you invest more even recycling line or?
Yes, I mean, it is developing a lot because it is not only, now we are not only collecting our own waste, but we are also buying 20 tons a day from outside. I mean, 20 tons from our factory, 20 tons from the other factories. We are already cleaning the Egypt, Sadat City area from the waste, and we are turning them into a new fiber. For as a quality, if we cannot use some of the waste as a yarn, we are doing some non-woven fabric, which people are using for the isolation of the buildings or the cars. So we are actually turning all this waste into a new product.
Just, I forgot to mention why not only the Denim Deal Foundation, why we focus on post-consumer recycled cotton. Because many times I have this question, Nicolas, why you are tackling the most difficult stuff instead of leveraging the pre-consumer or the post-industrial? The Denim Deal has been born in 2020 in Netherlands with the Dutch government initiative. Don't forget the policymakers, so government in Europe, are extremely concerned with the number of waste we generate every year. Just Europe has a number 9 million tons per year, and we see these numbers still increasing year by year. So we overconsume, everybody in this room, we overproduce, and we generate this amount of waste. So if we look at policymakers, they are really concerned about post-consumer. So that's why, as a foundation, we had to tackle the waste generated by the consumer, end of life. Very important just to mention it. GOKHAN, on the, sorry, I have to do that on top of it. The fact that, technically, the fact that you are going to increase this percentage of fiber in your blends, what are the technical adaptations you have to make in terms of spinning, waving, dyeing? Because I think it's a different beast to dominate, yeah?
Yeah. The raw material is really critical for the denim mills. It directly affects their efficiency, it affects the quality level. From the beginning, that you need to reset up everything. It starts with the first raw material. For the raw material, if the fiber is not recycled properly, then your headache starts beginning. First, we collaborated with our post-consumer recyclers. Then we engaged the right quality. Then problems half solved. Then later on, we had to use extra long fibers or premium fibers, or like lyocell or like Egyptian cotton or long fiber cottons. We blended them, then we had to readjust the twist factors. Besides this, readjust the hardness factors. Then later on, step by step, we increased the quality level and got the correct strength, got the correct tensile. But at the first year, it was a really big headache.
You had to learn during the journey, yeah?
Yeah. You know, I mean, raw material is really, really critical. Even the origin of the cotton chains in the denim mills, it's a big, huge work to do. But for recycled cotton, it's like the 18, 20 millimeter. It was a totally different journey.
And why? Because we started to ask myself this fiber in 2018, 2019. SHARABATI did invest in the technology. Yeah. Why you didn't did the same path, or can you explain the reasoning behind?
There are two main reasons for us. Meanwhile, we started working with recycle machine producers, but none of them that we agreed to get the right quality, because it was a new journey for the machine producers. Finally, we are found a technology that we are able to use. Also, we wanted to wait the machine technology to increase, because a normal, we call it chiffonage machines, normal recycler machines are cutting and damaging with the pins. But for the new generation is cutting, they are using pins to spread it, and they added a type of carding machine behind it. It's helping really, really too much. Now we are about to buy a one from that one.
So you find your own, I would call it, recycler feedstock consistent supplier. You make commitment with them.
Yeah.
And they deliver you, they guarantee you the consistency of quality.
Meanwhile, we agreed with two Turkish companies that they do recycle, and we agreed with one company from Bulgaria. Beside it, we had two sub-operators in Egypt.
Okay. And do you think in the future it's something that you will invest yourself if the demand is peaking, or is it something that you're good enough the way you're organizing today?
Our target is invest on the machine, because we will be controlling much more than the sourcing it, because while sourcing, you are also sourcing the risks. You cannot be sure from the composition, you cannot be sure from the fiber length. Now we are sure what we will do for the machinery, and it will be much more beneficial for us.
Just the last question on the technical side. Now you have experiment with post-consumer. Do you have a benchmark with pre-consumer? How the quality, is it the same, or how do you feel about this benchmark?
If I compare with pre-consumer and post-consumer, let me tell from the basic. A regular fiber is 28 millimeter, 28.5 millimeter. A pre-consumer fiber length is about 22, 25 millimeter. Post-consumer is about 18 to 20 millimeter. Of course, pre-consumer waste quality is much more higher than the post-consumer waste. But for the capacity-wise, pre-consumer waste is not easy to, or it's not filling up your full capacity. You have to add some post-consumer waste.
Yeah. Thank you, GOKHAN. Coming back to DILEK, so we talk about the importance of the demand, the brand, because Denim Deal, our role is really to engage brands to make sure they create the market, they create the demand, and we can offer the supply. Yeah. If you look back at your numbers about the demand, the brands, do you see which trend or which evolution you see? Is in the last few years, is it increasing, is it stabilizing, or it's bumpy road? How's it look?
First of all, the recycle demand is increasing, that's for sure. Increasing very much. But if we look at the recycle, of course, there is pre-consumer or post-consumer. For some of the markets, they are just asking recycle. They don't mention whether it should be post-consumer or pre-consumer. But especially from the Dutch market, they maybe because of the effort of the Denim Deal or the government or all these, the informations, people are more aware what they are asking for. So they started to ask, especially post-consumer. But for the other markets, and Scandinavian market also started to ask post-consumer. But for the other markets, they are increasingly asking recycle, but they are not mentioning whether it should be pre-consumer or post-consumer. They just want to increase the recycle.
But you see these numbers growing?
Yes, it is, definitely.
It's growing?
It is growing, definitely
That's
growing.
a good sign, yeah?
It is a good thing, of course.
Today you are our marketing guru, yeah? Thank you. This is your expertise.
Thank you.
Sometimes I wake up in the morning as a Denim Deal Foundation. Do you think us, me, myself, the brands, and you guys, do we have the right storytelling in terms of marketing to engage circularity and to explain this specific story? It's complicated, huh?
Yeah, I mean, for the circularity, I think we are doing good. I mean, now people really understand the value of the circularity. But if we talk only about the post-consumer, there is still, I think, to give the message, we have some missing things. Because, I mean, when people are talking about recycle, they don't really know the difference between post-consumer or the pre-consumer. For them, recycle is recycle. When you go to a shop, you see for H&M or for other companies, they really mention this product has this much recycle in it. But they never mention whether it's a post-consumer or pre-consumer. So we need to explain the importance or the difference between post-consumer and pre-consumer in a more clear way. People definitely believe in recycling, not only for the garments, recycling in every way. But the communication of post-consumer, I think we still have a way to go. I mean, it should be improved more.
Do you have any brand in mind that maybe has done a good stuff or still in improvement?
For post-consumer only? No, I cannot name a brand. I mean, maybe it's not good to say that, but I mean, when I visit some shops in Europe, especially, for example, Tommy Hilfiger. Now you are not working there, so I can.
You can talk about it.
I can talk about it. Because we are working with them, I know how it is important for them to use the post-consumer recycled cotton and everything. But when I go to the shop and check their labels or the advertisements or posters, I don't see it. So I was asking to myself, okay, why they are pushing it so much if they are not communicating? I mean, you understand what point?
Yeah.
I mean, so I cannot give a very perfect example, unfortunately.
Okay,
No.
so space for improvement.
Yeah.
We can do a better job. Next question also for you. I mentioned the responsibility of the brand is to create the market and to have this request. If you look a little bit at your pool of brands and customers, which commitment, what are you expecting from brands, and how many years you need to know a little bit, or how does it work when you have this discussion with them? Is it really on a seasonal base and this is my collection and that's it? Or they have more strategic commitment for the next 2 years? We want to use this blend, we want to use this fiber. How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the big brands especially, they are really very clear about their targets, you know, and they are not changing their mind from today to tomorrow. They already have their 2 years plan, 5 years plan, 10 years plan, whatever, and they already mentioning how they want to increase for the recycle, for example. What percentage today they are expecting, what percentage they will expect for tomorrow. So they are actually giving the map to us. Yeah. And they are expecting us to meet these targets, of course. So I don't think that there will be a communication problem between the brands and the suppliers. But the important thing is the consumer needs to understand it and appreciate it, and also willing to cover the cost or willing to give the value to these products. So the communication with the end user is very important in that stage, I think.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah.
Good to steal the microphone. GOKHAN, a question for you.
Yes.
There is still, and I can see it already, many myth-busters regarding post-consumer recycled cotton fiber, like it's shit quality, it's going to affect the design of my wash, of my fabric, it's more expensive. Can you clarify what is true and not true?
Okay.
This kind of myth-buster.
Raw materials really critical, but besides this, as a fiber, yes, it's shit quality. But the important thing is the yarn. I mean, what kind of you are making. Also, one of the critical thing is what kind of construction you will use it. I mean, all should be engineered from the beginning. If you just say that, I mean, this is the same thing, everything, you put the fiber, you take the yarn. If you keep everything same, yes, it's problem. But you have to modify your blend. You have to modify the composition, what percent you will use in the warp, what percent you will use in the weft, and what type of yarn you will make. Also, should I add, for example, some lyocell, or should I add some premium fibers? Then it's not a problem. But really, it's directly related with what you are making, how you are blending it.
You need to make these adjustments on each steps.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, the yarn you provide or the fabric you provide, the quality metrics are the same as a virgin fiber.
Yes, you will spend much more effort. You will spend much more concentration. Then the final will be okay.
Yeah. So which kind of? So we talk about 20% post-consumer recycled cotton. What are the technical limitations that you see today as a blend? What should be the ideal blend, or what should be the maximum we can go through? Limitation-wise, technical limitation-wise.
For our experiences, 20 is, yes.
30.
20, 30.
20, 30.
20 is better. We prefer 20. Really, we are paying too much efforts. We are spending too much efforts to get the quality with 20%, because our fiber strategy is totally changed after the post-consumer in our life. Normally, I mean, we were sourcing, or Denim mills were trying to source all same quality, same level fibers. But now we are concentrating to buy at least 20% premium fibers. Premium means a regular one is 28, we call it about 32 millimeter, 34 millimeter fibers, to blend it to get the same yarn quality. Or from the start, we are adding different type of fibers.
Did you see also an evolution in terms of spinning technology, more involved now, these machinery people, to help you to integrate the shorter fibers easier? Is it something put a pressure on them and they realize there is a market? It's not only virgin with 28 millimeters, now we have shorter.
Indeed, there are tools for it. Besides this, as I mentioned from the beginning, the recycling technology increased more than the spinning technology, because now we are able to get longer fibers with the recycling. At the start, the recycling was mainly focused on non-woven technology. Now, recycling machines are producing much more different type of machines, more advanced, more controlled. Then we are able to get better fibers from the recycling. Besides this, for the spinning, mills have learned that how to use it and how to adjust it. There are already enough tools at the spinning, but it takes time to find the correct adjustment, correct setups.
Okay, thanks. Here we go, DILEK. So we talk about limitations for scaling. So the fact that SHARABATI, you are vertical, yeah? So which kind of limitation do you facing today to scale this post-consumer recycled fiber?
Yeah, especially because our factory, recycle factories in Egypt, it is, as a legislation, it is not allowed to import the second-hand garments to Egypt. So either we need to collect it from the local market, which is not easy also, because in this culture in Egypt, in Turkey also it's the same. When you use something, you give it away to one of your family members or the relatives or some poor people in the...
Second life.
Yeah, I mean, it is already, you know, having a second life, but not, you are not taking it back to the shops and collecting somewhere. So we need to import it from outside, and it is not allowed. So we are trying to source the post-consumer yarn, mostly from Turkey. We have a supplier, and we are importing the yarn most of the time if we want to make it in Egypt, or we sometimes produce it in our Turkish factory. So this is limiting us, of course. Collecting the garments or the pieces or the fiber is the limitation. And also, as Gökhan said, you need to be sure about the quality of the yarn if you are buying it from the outside or the fiber. So these are the limitations for us.
So do you think regulators or policymakers have a responsibility to help you, at least in Egypt?
Yes, I think so. I know that Denim Deal is also working with the governments to overcome these issues and having some maybe policy changes, etc.
We have been working for 4 or 5 years between the Dutch government and Turkish government, Trade and Sustainability Ministry, and I heard apparently there is an agreement recently, so Turkey will be allowed to import second garments like that, because it was always the trick. So I think Egypt could learn from Turkey, what's happening in Turkey, in the future, but it takes time. No? It's to change the mindset of politicians. When we talk about this kind of fiber, for brands sometimes it's very important to know the full transparency and traceability of the waste. So can you guarantee also to any brand now it's coming, that we have full visibility on that, yeah?
Yeah, of course, because I mean our sourcing policy for any kind of material or the fiber or the chemical, you know, we are always working with the reliable suppliers. And we are always asking the certifications, you know. The supplier needs to provide us the certain certifications, well-known certifications. So we are only working in these conditions. Otherwise, I mean, we cannot guarantee. Even with the certifications and, you know, the very well-known suppliers, we are always having our tests when we receive any kind of yarn or fiber. And then after this, we only start to produce it.
Thank you, Dilek. GOKHAN, talking about one of the myth busters that just mentioned before, it's this fiber is more expensive, yeah? And I remember my personal experience when we started in 2018. Indeed, we saw in the fabric price some few cents there. But how you can maintain, today it's very competitive market, yeah? How you can maintain cost neutral, this fiber versus a virgin fiber, because this is the big debate. And sometimes brands use the excuse, I'm not going to buy it because it's few cents more, but what is in your kitchen that you can maintain or to be competitive with such a fiber?
When post-consumer was on our topic, it was also brand new for whole industry. I mean, nobody was used to produce fibers to reuse. Normally they were recycled just for non-wovens. That's why they couldn't decide, or they couldn't exactly find the correct price. Also, there was very few recyclers. Now the competition is much more higher than what we started. First, our recycled fiber prices came to a normal. Besides this, we arranged our setup according to that, because it was not like the old days. Now we assume that our machinery setup will be this, because it's also a journey. We lost 20% of our production capacity. Now, after arranging everything according to that setup, then it's one of your products.
Your productivity is better than when you started.
After scaling it, it became much more normal. And always we are trying to find alternative virgin fiber sources. Now we are good, and its fiber length is good, and the result is good.
If you look at the future, and if we want to increase the percentage of recycled fibers in the blend, do you think mechanical recycling with chemical recycling will be a good combination to raise the bar, or how do you see that while maintaining the prices? That's
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, I mean, just example for PVH. Now they started using recycled fibers. Now they have to be recycled again. This means that step by step it will have shorter fibers, and this will be a limitation. Besides this, chemical recycling is improving very, very fastly. First, they started producing with just viscose. Now also lyocell is possible. With lyocell, life will be much more different, because lyocell has better tensile tear and much more available good for denim. That's why we believe in chemical recycling.
Good. Come back to DILEK. I think we have to be careful with time. DILEK, a direct question. The fact that you are in the denim deal the last few years, how do you see the benefit of this collaboration, and how did you see evolve a little bit the market?
Our collaboration, I mean, first of all, it's good to be with the suppliers and the brands and the chemical companies together. It's a nice social environment, first of all. I mean, to have all our colleagues together and discuss some ideas. But also, I mean, it's good to concentrate on one subject or projects and think about it in details and put some goals and trying to achieve it. So it is always helping us a lot, actually. Okay, I mean, there is a demand from our customers, so we are producing post-consumer, but with Denim Deal, we are also taking care of the, the planning part, or, the objectives, or how we can make it better, or what our competitors are doing, or what the brands are asking for. So it's a good environment. Yeah, I mean, it's a good kind of experience for us.
Because we try to build this non-competitive environment, because there is brands together, they are competitors. We have meals together, they're also competitors. So we try to have this safe place.
But we don't see each other as competitors. I mean, I worked with GOKHAN together in the same company for a very long time.
So nice, happy family.
So, I mean, so it is not a competitor, but just, friends for us.
If you have, because we have a lot of meals already in the Denim Deal, but if you have a piece of advice you will tell to potential new members to come here in our foundations, what will be this advice? What you will tell them?
Okay, I mean, first of all, the Denim Deal is a good place to give your advices or ideas, because I mean, especially for SHARABATI, I can say, whenever we talk with you about the new plans or ideas or some implementations, I saw that you are hearing it, the committee, the steering committee, and you are trying to implement it. This is a very good chance for the members, actually, because I mean, it is a chance to make your ideas happen, and to other members also learning about it, and they are also trying to practice it also. So for the new members, they can learn what the others are doing, and they can also put their ideas into action. So
test new things.
Exactly. I mean,
try new things.
Yeah.
Okay. The last question for GOKHAN, of course. Very spiritual. How do you like to see this collaboration between us, we members, 5 years from now? How do you see that?
I can tell it as a sustainability club. I mean, all the club members help each other, and members tend to understand each other, tend to help each other. That's why this is the main idea. It's not a deal, it's a club.
Collaboration.
All the people looking the same way.
Good. That's it for me. I think time-wise we are quite good. Do you have, because we have experts, not me, huh? We have 2 experts here. If you have any questions, technical, marketing, regarding this famous fiber, raise your hand. Any hands? Say that, you have a question? No, I can see you have a, no? Later for me, yeah? Well, good. Thanks for coming. I hope you learned something. And thanks for my guest to be on stage with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.